Hi, I'm Jen from Acadian Accounting Education, and today we're going to practice adding a sales receipt. So go ahead and click on the link in the description to grab a copy of the exercise, and let's get started. All right, so let's go ahead and practice adding that sales receipt. Now, this exercise is being pulled from our QBO Quick Start course, which if you want more information about that after we go through the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description. But let's go ahead and dive in and read through our scenario. Dylan Saul Frank walked into Craig's shop and purchased a rock fountain with cash. Create a sales receipt to account for the sale. Now, you're going to need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. Once you sign in, this is what it will look like. This is the dashboard. So let's go ahead and get started with that sales receipt. The first thing that we need to do is click on the plus new button and then click on sales receipt. So the plus new button is on the top left corner of the screen. Click on that. And then in the customer column is the sales receipt. About halfway down, go ahead and select that. Now we want to go ahead and start filling this out. In the customer field, we're going to select Dylan Solfrank. So here is that customer field. Click the down arrow, and then the sixth one down is Dylan's name. Go ahead and select it. In the payment method field, we want to select cash since that is how he paid for the rock fountain. So here is the payment method field. Click the down arrow, select cash. And then if you'll notice back up here is that sales receipt date. It is going to default to today. Now, for the purpose of this exercise, it's perfectly fine. But in a real life scenario, you want to make sure that this date matches the date of the actual transaction. Dates are very important when you're doing bookkeeping, so be sure to keep that in mind. The other thing that we're going to leave as is the deposit to field, which is showing as undeposited funds. Now, because this is a cash payment that Dylan made that hasn't been physically deposited into the bank account yet, it needs to be in a quote holding account for now in QBO, which is this undeposited funds. Once the cash actually gets deposited into the bank, a separate bank deposit transaction is created. That is outside of the scope of this exercise, but I wanted you to understand why it's really important that you have this starting here in undeposited funds until it physically makes its way into the bank account. So let's go ahead and finish filling this out. On the first line in the product service field, we want to go ahead and select rock fountain. So the product service field is right here. Go ahead and click that down arrow. And then the fourth one that is listed there is rock fountain. So go ahead and click on that. The rest of the information is going to populate on this line. And that's because we have rock fountain set up as a product in QBO. And when it was set up, the things like the rate were already included in that setup process. So that is why it is pre-populating right here. We're not going to do anything else with that. And the whole sales receipt is actually good to go. So now we can just go ahead and click on Save and Close. Save and Close is on the bottom right corner of the screen, so go ahead and click on that. And once you do, the sales receipt has been saved, and that is how you would add a sales receipt. Now, if you like this exercise and you want to do more like it, or if you want to learn more about that QBO Quick Start course, be sure to click on the link in the description, and I will see you next time.